Here we go. Welcome into Boston has entered the chat where one of us is acting very Boston, very New England today. That would be me. And then one of us is acting real Jersey today. How you doing, buddy?
Bro, hold on. Jersey, Boston cut from the same cloth.
That's a fact.
We're all jerks in the best way possible. Look, I do say this a lot. I had a phone call with someone today. I'm working on a story I want to tell, like a shoot I'm working on.
Yeah.
Guy has an awesome business. I'm excited to spotlight it.
Sure.
And I was just like running ideas by him. Like, what if we do this, that? He's like, all right. I go, and I cut him off. I go, hey, man, I'm from Jersey. Best thing you can do is tell me to F off.
Right.
But I use a 4-letter
As
word.
a term of endearment.
And he laughed. I'm like, no. Like, just tell me to F off. I'll shut up. It's your business. It's how you want to perceive, and we'll move forward.
He's like, no, it's fine.
He's like, don't worry, man. I don't got to do that. I got family from Jersey. I'm like, if you have to, you have the ability. I give everyone an F off. Everyone has an F off they can use on me.
Yeah.
And I'll take it.
You're an equal opportunity F offer. I will give you that.
I'm just big on don't do the butter me up for like 2 minutes
Facts.
and then go, but just cut to the chase.
Just get
Shut
right
up
to
and
it.
tell me what you want me to hear.
George Balecki from Jersey. Travis Thomas here. Now, I'm from Maryland, but I'm your adopted son.
I embrace Boston. Come on now.
Facts. You've adopted us. You've embraced us both, and we're happy to be in the family.
Love
and
it
of course, as always, know this. Boston has entered the chat. You can email us. We're interactive. Get at us, the chat at NESN.com. You can also tweet us with the hashtag NESN chat. We'll get to you there as well. And now we give you what's trending. As you know, 3 minutes on the clock for these three things. But coming up in the show, we'll tell you what's trending in the world of sports, including the Cowboys being losers per usual. Plus, Don Sweeney spoke to the media for the first time since dismissing Jim Montgomery, and as always, we'll preview Thursday Night Football. That's what we do. So let's get into what's trending. 3 minutes on the clock here, George, because Ray Lewis has been floated as a head coaching candidate. I use floated in air quotes for a reason, to become the next head coach at FAU. I mean, now, there's been some reports out saying that this isn't going to happen. It's just a rumor. It's been shot down. But it got us to thinking. I mean, listen, Jerod Mayo is a former player who's now a coach.
Got it.
I mean, it happens. Prime, former player who's a coach on the college level. What do you think of old Ray Lewis as a coach?
So I'd like to address, we pulled up the Schefter tweet. And he goes, following the Deion Sanders to Colorado model. Why not Ray Lewis?
Right.
Ray Lewis represented by CAA. Schefter, represented by CAA. Help out the people within your family.
A little feeler.
It's just the most Schefter thing ever. Like, just like Deion. All right, Deion in Colorado, he at least coached in the past.
Yeah.
What is Ray Lewis doing? I don't know. Just screaming somewhere on TV. Look, and I'm not saying he doesn't know football, but for him to just take over FAU, which is a Division I level program, like, no, it's not going to happen. There were reports from Yahoo Sports that said it is not happening. But Schefter floating him, that's kind of great to see, man. It's just like, what else would you expect from FAU?
I guess we disagree here, bro. I think Ray Lewis would be a tremendous coach for that program.
But on what, resume?
What
sample size do you know?
His playing resume is the resume.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too. I think we have to be fair with this.
It's FAU.
It's FAU. Ray's from Florida, but Ray was the player coach or the quarterback of the defense, if you will. And so there are certain players, certain personalities in sports that make sense to make a natural transition to a leadership role like a head coach would be. By the way, that's just on the field. How about off the field? Ray's been through some things, and he's always preaching and teaching, right? Based off of his life experiences. That's fantastic. That's what the best coaches, especially in college, who are molding young men, that's what they do. I think that's what Prime brings to the table, too. Yeah, I think it'd be great, George.
It's college, so it's NIL, it's recruiting. Yeah. It's raising money, which really what it is. Yeah. If this was FAU bringing Ray Lewis in as like a consultant or advisor role, sure. But you're just going to step into D1 football. And FAU has been like a competitive lower level FCS program, like a non-Power 4 program.
Yes.
They've had their ups and downs. Like Kiffin's been there, built it up, goes to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Herman didn't work there. This is a bigger job. And keep in mind, again, Deion to Colorado, there was Deion to Jackson State first. Ed Reed, coach at HBCU.
That's right.
There is a stepping stone you got to take. So just to float it out there, it has been floated. Is that Ray calling FAU and be like, hey, I'd be interested? Because that's the thing with this report too. It's like floated. Yeah, like you could be floated to be the head coach at FAU. If someone in FAU is like, my buddy Travis Thomas, he could do a great job molding young men, which I believe you would.
I'm a leader.
Exactly. You know what's great? FAU has a clause in their contracts for head coaches. When they fire them, they could stay at the university, lesser role. So like be a facilities manager, literally a custodian, but they keep the buyout. If they leave the university, they get a lesser buyout. Oh. So they're not, here's your papers, you're done. They go, you still got to work here, and you keep your buyout. Oh. I'd be the happiest custodian in the world.
Yeah,
making that money. Yeah.
I don't remember if this is a school where Pitbull bought naming rights. Remember? Is it FAU or a different one? Remember
that was FIU.
I got my vowels
Pitbull
mixed
Stadium.
up. Pitbull Stadium.
Bro, they fired Tom Herman. Fired. Willie Taggart fired. Tom Herman stinks.
All right, shot clock's up. Let's go next. Shedeur Sanders accepts an invite to the East-West Shrine Bowl. Now, this is big news in the sense that we all, I think we can agree that this guy should be the number one quarterback taken off the board.
But that's not an exact. Cam Ward's out there, but that's why this is smart by Shedeur. He needs to do as much as possible. Look, Colorado's off to a 7-2 start. They've been awesome, but they're not a lock to get into the playoffs. Miami has a better chance. Shedeur, it's about the practice. It's not about the actual game. It's the same thing with the Reese's Senior Bowl. Take this and continue to build your case to be QB1. So you're right. Like, take this. But it's not exact with Shedeur.
You don't think it's as clear cut?
Really good.
See, I think it's clear cut.
No.
You don't think so?
Caleb was clear cut.
Yeah.
But QB2, think of the Jaden Daniels versus Drake May.
Right.
It's cup of tea. That's Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. It is up in the air. Who's QB1?
Who would you take?
I would.
Because for you to say that means you would.
See, I have to take a moment. I love Shedeur's game. Cam Ward's poise, though, man, is next level.
Yeah.
And again, I think Shedeur, with his athleticism, he makes every throw. He is a leader. You can say what he is a leader. He's a dog. Do I get Shedeur or do I get Shedeur in prime? And if I get Shedeur in prime, am I able to handle Shedeur and prime?
So it's a package deal in your mind.
If it is, and that's what I'd have to see. I think there's so many variables and we don't know. If I take talent alone, Cam Ward's special, man. I really like Cam Ward's game. I wouldn't hate either quarterback I take, though. I think both can be special.
Okay, let me re-ask the question because let me be clear here. I think Shedeur is head and shoulders above the next quarterback, including Cam Ward, including Quinn Ewers. I don't give a damn who you name.
Oh, they're both way better than Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe.
But that's a prospect, I'm saying. Let me ask you this. If you're not getting prime and you have the number one pick and you need a quarterback, are you taking Ward or are you taking Sanders?
Oh, I'm not getting prime. I like that you're taking Deion out
Just
of it.
a player. Because, see, that's
Shedeur
where
at
I'm
the
Sanders.
level he's been playing at, we've seen it longer.
Yeah. You like Cam Ward?
I really like Shedeur Sanders. I like them both.
All right.
So it's like, what's my situation, you know? And you know what's interesting? These practices, they're in AT&T Stadium. Jerry.
Oh, Jera.
What would Jerry do? Your head coach is going to be gone when his contract's up.
Then
you
you're
just
getting
paid
prime.
Your quarterback.
To your point.
Prime and Shedeur.
Yes.
In Dallas.
That's a package deal.
Prime and Shedeur in Vegas.
Package deal.
Yeah. They're the
could
teams.
work.
Think of the teams that need quarterbacks: Titans, Browns, Raiders, Jets, Saints.
Yeah, but you're not getting a package deal with all those teams, dog.
No.
I actually think we named the two. I think it's Vegas and Dallas.
That could handle Prime and Shedeur.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or they would even have
Dallas,
interest.
I mean, they just paid Dak. They're on the hook with him until 2027.
Who cares? We see quarterbacks get traded all the time.
Yeah, if they trade him, 2027, they're saving $28 million.
I'd trade him.
If they trade him after this season and they don't renegotiate that contract, it'll cost them an extra $60 million to not have him on the roster.
What a loser franchise.
That's how you hit the soft rebuild. Man, can you just picture Jerry up in his suite watching Shedeur practice?
What's he saying?
I want him. How much is Dak costing me? Who said to give him $232 million? Oh, me? I said give him.
Hit the shot clock again.
I said give Dak $231 million guaranteed. Hey, my IFB might be messed up. I didn't hear.
I haven't heard one buzzer.
Okay, so there we go.
All right, good.
Cool.
Well, that means we're taking liberties.
I want him and I want Deion to get him in here.
What's the shoe size? 9.5.
Yeah. That's a Jerry I won't get to. That's a weird Jerry.
That's a weird Jerry. Hey, let's keep talking about those losers, shall we?
Love it.
Cowboys, air quotes, stars, Ceedee Lamb and Trevon Diggs reportedly shot their music video. Here it is.
Look at this.
For our viewing audience, it's dumb, as you can see. And for our listening audience, take our word for it, it's dumb. So they shot this music video at a club after their blowout loss to the right in your backyard Houston Texans.
Keep in mind, CD was shut down by Derek Stingley, and he's doing this.
Unbelievable, but maybe believable.
It's believable.
Right?
You know what my thing is? Those two guys standing up on the couch shooting a music video?
Yeah.
Between the two of them, $142 million guaranteed dollars
Good
when they hit
gracious.
their contracts. You know what you could do with $142 million guaranteed dollars?
What's that?
Private room,
Yeah.
NDAs,
Yeah.
no cell phones.
Yeah.
You do this and you don't deal with it.
That's true,
Look,
bro.
man, what you're doing away from work is your business and your business only. Just be smart about it.
Bro, you know what? You know how I know you're so right? I mean, George had a birthday party that had all those things he just checked off. I had to sign a paper that I wouldn't talk about it. I had to put my cell
What are you
phone
doing
in like
right
a
now?
little. Oh, sorry. This may be a breach of contract. Hit the shot clock. Oh, we can't hear it. Listen, these guys are losers.
Yeah.
Okay. What more? I mean, we can leave time
It
on this
is
clock.
like,
What more
come
is there
on,
to
bro.
talk about? They're losers.
Yeah.
And you have to have some self-awareness.
Yes.
If you're winning, I don't even like this if you're winning.
Yeah, it's
But
during the
my
season.
God, you can stomach it a little better and just be like, all right, guys, like, let's relax. But you're losing and you're getting smoked at home and your coach is going to get fired in 3, 2, and scene. Like, I mean, what are you doing? You're out shooting a music video? Come on, bro. I'm sure that song is trash, too. I just want to throw that out there.
47-9, 30-24, 27-21, 34-6.
This is at home.
34-10. Those are the results of their last 5 games.
Give me the home games.
Oh, home
because they're
games?
getting boat raced.
44-19, 28-25. Not bad, but you only
That's
put up
close.
25 points.
Yeah.
34-6.
See?
34-10.
So you're getting smashed.
You're not
at
scoring
home.
and you're not stopping. Oh, by the way, playoffs 48-32 last year at home.
Bruh.
You're not scoring. You're not stopping anyone. And two of the higher paid players on both sides of the ball are doing this.
Now, what if the song?
Loser.
Are we being unfair? Let's just.
It's
there's
not
two
gonna
sides
be
to every
good.
Well,
It's not.
if the
Did
song
you-
is about losing
Oh.
and we suck,
What if it's a Jerry Jones diss track?
no way, because
What
that
if?
would be the story.
They got guaranteed money.
No, you know who it should be a diss track on is Mike McCarthy.
No, Jerry.
What? They're
Both.
They're yes, both. You should. One verse should be about Mike McCarthy, and then the other verse should be about Jera.
And then the hook is about Dak.
And the hook's about
He's been
Dak.
fine, man. He's been fine.
Bro, it is. Can you imagine being a Cowboys fan right now? I mean, like the sky is falling.
The delusional world they live in, I don't know.
I don't know. You can't make, but listen to that.
Jeez.
Wow, that's aggressive. Okay, fine. Let's
What
let
is
it. Let's
this?
hear the buzzer, everyone. There we go.
All right.
All
Interesting.
right. We got it. We get it. Okay.
I felt like someone was hitting me in the side of the head
That was so
with a hollow metal pole. It's like, what?
It went from nothing to something. Like, that was aggressive. Okay, we'll move on. Fine. Let's talk some Bruins. Don Sweeney, we finally heard from him for the first time since dismissing Jim Montgomery. So let's take a listen to the first presser that the Bruins have done. Everyone talked. We got players talking. We got Sacco talking. But we have Sweeney. So let's take a listen to this, George. And then on the other side, we'll give our reactions to it. Take a listen.
The obvious reaction for me is disappointment in the decision I had to make yesterday in making the coaching change. I have nothing but respect and utmost appreciation for Jim Montgomery as a hockey coach, as a person. The infusion of positive reinforcement that Monty brought to the organization from day one, resonated in a historic season. Fell short of a goal. Went back to work the next year with significant change, and he's going to be a good NHL coach. He is a good NHL coach, and I wish him well. His family was a big part of is a big part of his success and dynamic, and we're going to wish them well in everything they do moving forward. it came from a decision of our team really just not performing to the level of expectations that we have grown to appreciate as a fan of the sporting community here. And, for me, I had to change course. It's not generally been my nature to not enter into a relationship. I've worked with a lot of people over an extended period of time, unless they've gone on to other situations. And in Monty's case, we had entered into extension talks, couldn't find a deal based on what we had offered, and then when the underperformance of the team reared its head for 20 games, I had to make a decision. And moving forward, that rests with me now. From a personnel standpoint, and the players themselves, they have to understand that they're not where they need to be, and we're either going to get back there or there'll be continued changes across the board. So, we've placed Joe in a position now here to get his hands on the steering wheel. Joe's well equipped to be able to do this and lead this group. Institutional knowledge for a number of years of teams that have been successful and where it needs to get back to be successful. He's interviewed around the league for other jobs, and he's well equipped to handle it. And the staff will be as it is for right now, but I don't rule out that we won't bring in somebody to complement this group.
A lot of big moves going on there with the Bruins. Remember, you can get involved as well in this conversation. It's not just me and George. We need you to email us at thechat@NESN.com. You can also tweet at us with the hashtag NESNChat. I appreciated the accountability there from Don Sweeney. I don't know. George, I told you this on the last Boston Has Entered the Chat. I'm hearing so much sort of sky is falling talk of, there's a lottery or this season. It's so much hockey left that I'm looking at this. I'm glad they did this now. And they didn't just, it clearly wasn't working.
Yeah.
And there is a portion of this fan base that feels like this shouldn't have happened now and you should have gave them more time. I'm not of that mindset. I actually think rip the Band-Aid off now and try to salvage the rest of the season because there is so much hockey left. Look, if Sackett can turn it around, why can't this team fight for a wild card spot? So I appreciated, the accountability there of like, hey, this is on me now, right? It's on me. We're going to try to turn this thing around. I liked what I heard from the press conference, not only from him, but from others, of moving forward, and we're going to try to make this season something. It's not a punt. It's not a throwaway. They still have a chance because there's so much damn season left.
Yeah, I like you open up a disappointment. He knows the team's not performing.
Yeah.
And then he took the accountability of that rests with me. Personnel players, they need to understand that they're not where they need to be. This is a team through 20 games, is 8-9-3, final wild card spot in the East. They're allowing the 6th most goals per game. They're the second worst offense, scoring just 2.4 goals. Their expected goals differential should be .37. They're minus 21 goal differential.
Right.
They have the worst power play in the NHL. The worst. At just under 12%. And their penalty kill ranks 25th. Different roster. Go back last year, but same core pieces. Minus an Elias Lindholm and a Zadorov. They were 14-3-3 first 20 games of the season. 12th best offense, scoring 3.4 goals a game. Right now, they're scoring 2.4. 4th best goals against, allowing just 2.5 goals per game. 9th in power play, 3rd in penalty kill.
Yeah.
Through 20 games. So there was a disconnect. And it gets to the point where it's just not working with the coach.
Yeah.
Because there is a roster fit, there is a personnel fit, but then there is a coaching that needs to make adjustments and a message not being heard. What jumped out to me, and what I wanted to hear from, and I said this has to be a wake-up for the players on the ice. This is part Jim Montgomery not being able to adapt and adjust to make this roster work. And this is part of the players. You said it, the slow starts they got off to.
Yes.
They're just not locked in. They're playing flat. David Pastrnak being shotless on 6 power plays.
That's insane.
It's insane. Brad Marchand said this, quote, "This is a reflection of our play. If we had done our job, he'd still be here. Feel terrible as a group, we let a good person down." Then David Pastrnak, "We weren't getting it done, and because we weren't getting it done, we lost a great coach and a great human being."
Yeah.
They know it, and they feel it, and it has to wake them up because it also is. The coach goes, and in many cases like this, I'm not saying this is what the Bruins are thinking, in many cases like this, if the 8-9-3 start, the start we've seen carries on, players are next.
Yeah, listen, we just talked about this with Joe LMB, different sport, but same sort of situation where there wasn't a coach fired, but remember, there was a players-only meeting. Joel Embiid was called out by a star player on the team. And we talked about how that could light a fire under Joel Embiid. In this case, I'm hearing everyone across the board taking accountability now. Everyone's like, hey, this is on us. Hey, this is on me.
That's your captain and assistant captain.
Okay, so guess what? Now, if anything, that should spark accountability from the players. We know from this coaching staff, from this front office now moving forward. So I just think it's a chance. I'm not trying to get all sentimental here and say they're singing Kumbaya around a campfire, but
I don't think you should. Wake up.
It does light sort of a fire under this team. Like, okay, that's done. We're moving forward together, and we're all taking accountability. And we all know this. This team is way too damn talented to be playing the way they have been so far this season. Listen, I'm going to be very clear about this. I still think with all this distraction, all this noise, this is not a great look firing your coach this early in the season. We understand that. With all that being said, I still think best case scenario, George, is that this team is a wild card team. I don't see some miraculous turnaround here where they get to what we're used to seeing, one of the top teams out east. But I also believe
it's a playoff team.
It's a playoff team no matter how you get there. So if you do get there as a wild card, in face of everything that you've gone through this season, it's still a really good season.
The head coach got fired because this team is a playoff caliber team.
Yes.
But they look nothing
they
like
were
it.
Underperforming.
They're in the final wild card spot because all the teams in the East are struggling right now. There's a lot of parity. But just because you're in that final spot doesn't mean you keep doing what you're doing. Like, this team is falling so short of expectations. Yeah. And it's amazing, like the guys that are playing well, like a Eunice Corpusalo with a 2.7 goals against average. I mean, that's a guy that's lived like 3.2, 3.5 goals against average in his prior seasons. Like, he's overperforming. But then you have a Jeremy Swayman, who dropped off from like a 92% save percentage at like 88 right now. The best players, David Pastrnak being lost on the power play. Jeremy Swayman not looking right in the crease. Yeah. Brad Marchand still working his way back from the 3 surgeries. Nikita Zadorov at times looking like he doesn't know where to be on defense. Like the key players. Elias Lindholm, who's been MIA. But like you said, 20 games down, 62 to go, a lot to recover. Yeah. The best players need to step up. And if they play at their level, then this team gets back into that top 4 team in the East conversation instead of hoping they're on the final wild card spot. It's how short of expectations they fell. It's not the 8-9-3 start, it is, but it's how they got to 8-9-3 and how bad they were playing.
Well said, my friend. Will the new look Bruins find their way back to the Cup? We check in with some of the NHL's greatest to help us find the answer on NESN's The Hockey Hub podcast. Hear from current and former Bruins players weekly, as well as the latest going on around the hockey world. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, George, one of your favorite things in the world has happened. We got a little love on the Boston has entered the chat hotline, a hotline in which we've had people call George a moron and
really, really stupid.
Tell me he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Compared me to the Romans with pitchforks, which I liked.
Generally, I get great feedback. Of course
Handsome,
I do. Yeah.
Strong.
Tall.
Good
strong.
chin.
Good chin.
Chiseled.
All right, let me get to it.
Introspective. Man, that guy is smart.
Our boy
Gray
Zach.
hair.
Our boy, okay. Now you're going too far. Where's the shot clock? Our buddy Zach leaves a voicemail for us. So I want to get to it. It's an NBA question, and I think it's a damn good one. Take a listen here.
Hey, just calling in. Huge fan of the show. I agree with what you're saying. You know, we're not really worried about the Celtics at the end of the day. What I'm worried about is every single other team in the East, because I have to wonder, what's your end game? You know, if you're the Sixers, you have really no end game. You got Paul George, but, I mean, Joel Embiid's never going to play more than, like, 40 games tops. The Cavs, they look good. Are they really going to give you a challenge? Probably not. I mean, realistically, almost certainly not. Then you have to bring it down to the West. And when you think about the West, you got the Mavericks. I just can't really get behind them if you think about it. I'd be curious to see what you guys think. It's really not going to be a worry if I had to guess. I mean, are you really going to go wing to wing in that entire series? I don't think so. Just my opinion. But I'd be curious to hear what you think. At the end of the day, go C's. That's the real end of the game. So listen, go C's. That's really the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I love that. End of the day, it's go C's.
Well, you know what he did? This is why I recognize
I
it.
like the
'cause
options he mapped out.
I do that. I talk things out. So
Yeah.
his question really is like, is there any other challengers, like legit challengers to the Celtics? And then he sort of talked through them all.
Yeah.
And at the end of the call, he was like, yeah, no.
I like it. It's like a little therapeutic too.
Yeah.
Like, talk it through. Let me hear it.
That's
yeah,
why I
same
do
thing.
that
talk
all
too
the
much.
time. That's why I recognize
Well,
it.
it's perfect. It's on the heels of the Cavs almost coming back, but taking the Celtics down to the wire. Like
was a
late
great
game
game.
execution.
Great game.
Well, 22-point game at half.
Yeah.
And then it closes out. I know they lost by 3. It should have been 5.
Sure.
Ty Jerome hit.
You're not upset at all.
No, totally.
Did you
not,
want to share that with Zach?
Totally
while
did
you-
not have Celtics minus
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Did not at all. And then
Zach,
just
it
like,
always goes back to gambling, buddy.
no one deserves a push anyway. It's okay. But Ty Jerome, what are you doing, bro? Okay. And the Cavs, you see the way they match up. And this is a Cavs team that had Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on the floor.
Yes.
No Isaac Okoro.
Right.
And we see how this team has changed with Kenny Atkinson out on the sidelines. Like, I've loved Evan Mobley. His offensive game is now stepping up. That's Kenny Atkinson's effect. And he adds a very big layer to what the Cavs can do. And in mismatches where, yeah, they're front court heavy. They don't have the big wings that you need to match up with the Celtics, but they can make life difficult defensively for the C's.
Sure.
And we've seen them score. This is still a Boston team without Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
This is a Boston team where Jaylen Brown had an off night.
Yeah.
So as you say, and I see what the caller is saying, he listed the Sixers. Look, if Joel Embiid has to be called out by Tyrese Maxey, if Joel Embiid's just showing up late to everything, let's start there, let alone getting called out.
Talk about
it's like,
it.
well, I don't know how I'm being used on the floor. Like, it's not about how you're being used on the floor. Show up. It's Paul George. We don't know when they'll get him. With the Mavericks, they're off to an 8-7 start, but they are playing well at both ends of the floor. To me, it's the Timberwolves. It is the Cavaliers. The Knicks still need to sort things out and figure out what they're doing defensively, especially with Cat on the floor.
Yeah.
But in 7 games, who do you take? It is the Celtics.
Celtics.
And the one that he didn't name, now he was going through the East and he's thinking West. It is the Timberwolves. It is the Thunder. Warriors, I need to see it for 82 games with how deep this team is, but the experience is different. And the Warriors are out there. But what did I just name? 3 teams in the West. The East, I'm not worried. The Cavaliers are good. But in 7, it's the Celtics.
I think 2 things can be true at once, Zach. Here's where I'm going to go. I'm not even going to address the Western Conference because whoever the hell comes out of the West, you got to put respect on them. And, obviously, like the West is deep. You see a lot. I think there's more complete teams in the Western Conference. The East is top heavy, but it always is.
Yeah.
There's more complete teams out West. So whoever is in the finals, presumably against the Celtics, I'm going to respect. What you're really talking about is the Eastern Conference here. And I do think that the Cavs, why I say 2 things are true at once, I think the Cavs could mess around and be the 1 seed in the East. And I don't think it matters. I think what the Cavs are doing is very sustainable, and it's for all the players George mentioned. The key for them is health. Remember, Allen and Mitchell were out for that Celtics series. So, if they're healthy, I'll still take the Celtics in a best of 7, but the Cavs are contenders. And we saw that from that game. By the way, I think 4 games from now, they play the Cavs again in Cleveland. I wouldn't be shocked if Boston loses that game. So I think the Cavs are for real. As far as the rest of the East, I'm with you. How can any of us disagree with these teams, 76ers, are a mess. The Knicks are trying to figure it out. We know they'll be there in the end. But I like what the Cavs are doing more than them. Paolo's coming back for the Magic. They're going to be tough, but I still don't know if they have enough, enough scoring. Pacers feel fugazi to all of us. I think in the East, I think it will likely be a 2-horse race here in the end between the Cavs and the Celtics. And I would not be shocked if the Cavs are better than we all think. I just think in the end, the Celtics will beat them in a series.
Maybe Magic.
Maybe.
And then you think of the teams. Again, if the Celtics were in the West, different combo. Because it's like a series with the Rockets, young team, defends well, can score. Yeah. They take the Celtics 6. But it's just like, how many teams can you say that about in the East? So for the Celtics, the hardest part is getting back there.
Yeah.
And then from there, the second hardest part is winning the whole damn thing.
Right.
But the path to getting back there, we've said it, and I've said it. It's on paper, the 76ers have the best big 3 in the NBA. But it's only going to be on paper. because that's all we're going to get from
Right.
Embiid and Paul George, as a caller pointed out.
Yeah.
This Cavs team is off to this start. How sustainable is it? How long do you get it? Donovan Mitchell's incredible.
I think it is.
But with Darius Garland, like he has fits defensively, a smaller guard matching up with the big wings and the big guards that the Celtics have. He's so important to what the Cavaliers do well. The three ball is so important to them. What did the Cavs run into? One of the best perimeter defensive teams in the NBA that continually ran them off the line. This is what I was saying to you. That's why I was comfortable laying the points.
Yeah, you were.
That's why I was comfortable with the Celtics. I go, it's a perimeter defense it comes down to.
Yeah.
Cavs aren't great. Celtics are really good. That's a difference maker. So there's so many teams into it. We saw a sample size. Celtics at Cavs December 1st. That'll be a good one to watch. But
that's what I'm saying. They could lose that game.
It's the Celtics. It's everyone else.
Bro, I honestly look at I thought Mobley would be the X factor for the Cavs all season, and in a lot of ways he still is.
Could be.
But against the Celtics specifically, that matchup, if we are to get a series, let's say Eastern Conference Finals for the sake of the conversation, it's Darius Garland. Because in that game that we're talking about here in Boston, I mean, he was shut down.
Yeah.
And now it was a close game. If he goes off in that game or has a better game, it could have gone a different way. So I think against the Celtics uniquely, he's the X factor.
And even, especially against the Celtics, a smaller guard like himself will be targeted defensively.
Oh, my God.
So it's not just how
physical
he was kept in check on offense.
That's right.
But how he'll continually be the target, which they do. They match up Hunt. When you have 5 guys on the floor that can shoot and score, that's what they're going to do.
Hey, Zach, we thank you, man, and we appreciate you being a big fan of the show as well. We're a big fan of you, Zach, and we're a big fan of all of you who reach out to us here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Let me tell you how to do it. Email us at thechat@nesn.com.
No, the chat
chat at NESN.com. You can also tweet us with the hashtag NESNChat as well. The NBA season is here, and the big question is, will the Celtics repeat and claim banner 19? You can find everything about the NBA and its culture on NESN's basketball podcast. Hold my banner. I'm there with the walking, talking, triple-double Ante Campbell. You better believe it. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, George, let's break it down. Thursday night football style. Oh, yeah. The Steelers, 8-2, looking to be the creme de la creme of the AFC against the Browns in the dog pound.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston.
Who's been fine.
Yeah.
395.
Bad weather coming. 2-8. Not good. Not good. But, hey, the Steelers are good. Let's talk about
The weather in this looks awful.
Yeah, the weather's
windy,
not good.
real feel 25 and rainy.
Frightful.
In Cleveland?
Treacherous.
It sounds awful.
It sounds dumb.
Imagine being in Cleveland, Ohio, outside.
I'll tell
Cleveland,
you
Ohio. No, imagine being in Cleveland, Ohio. Stop. You made a mistake.
No,
then
I love Cleveland.
Imagine being in Cleveland, Ohio.
No.
25 degrees outside, windy and rainy. The dog pound is special. Those fans are special. They deserve better than the Haslams.
Yeah, they do.
They deserve better than this ownership. This team's not good, man.
No, they're not. By the way, if it's that cold in Cleveland and it's just
they
a
know
dreary night,
they know how to drink.
They drink.
Yep.
Get some pierogi action. I like Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland a few times. I've had fun every time.
Quick cheat code. Then we'll get into the game.
Yeah.
If you're ever in a really cold game, say you go to Lambeau, learn this at Camp Randall. You know what you do? You take a piece of cardboard with you, make sure it stays dry, and you put it on the floor and you stand on the cardboard. It insulates between the cold ground and your boots. So no matter what your socks are, no matter how good your boots are, you need a layer of cardboard. So next time you get something on Amazon, you're in the upper Midwest, keep that box. And next time you go to a cold outdoor game, bring it with you to the game, put it on the floor. Keep it dry.
This feels like science. Like, can we get Bill Nye on the line?
Right. It's gritty upper Midwest science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
I learned that in Wisconsin. So that's what they're going to do in the Browns. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to do that. They're going to take that step. They're going to tough it out. They're going to drink beer. They're going to have pierogies.
Yeah.
And the Steelers are going to win 13-6.
They're used to that in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's not. First of all, I said creme de la creme in the AFC potentially for the Steelers. I look at them as the quintessential. It doesn't feel like 2024 football, but they're the quintessential run the football, don't turn the football over, play great defense, don't beat yourself with turnovers and stupid penalties and things of this nature, and you're going to win games. And this is what Mike Tomlin has built literally a whole career around. Now, obviously, when they had prime Big Ben, it was different. They could go aerial attack, if you will. But once, pretty much from fat Big Ben at the end of his career all the way to present, Tomlin has built it on what the Steelers stand for, right? Running the ball, defense, all the things I said. With that being said, bad weather in Cleveland, a scrappy Browns team. They are talented, but they don't win. It's Cleveland. I mean, I could see a low, bet the under, probably. I don't even know what the number
37.
is. Maybe I'm going over. But I could see a low-scoring, gritty. You use the word gritty. Like, I could see a very gritty, grimy, grinded-out Steelers. Kind of ugly win, no style points, but they win a tough divisional game.
It is what Pittsburgh team and what Browns team shows up. Now, Pittsburgh struggled against the Ravens. Like, Russell Wilson did not look right. But guess what? They had a kicker that goes 6 for 6. Going to be harder in these elements.
Yep.
It was tied at 14 in the fourth quarter between the Saints and the Browns. And then Taysom Hill looked like Superman. They could not tackle the Browns, who have a talented defense. Myles Garrett, Jeremiah Wusu-Koromora.
Yeah, he's can ball.
Deshaun Elliott at safety. Denzel Ward at corner.
Yep.
They still have a lot of talent on that defense, but they weren't tackling, and that allowed the Saints to put up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter in separation. And even thinking about the touchdowns that Jameis had, it was a scramble drill touchdown to Jerry Jeudy, which doesn't happen.
Never.
Let's face it, Jerry Jeudy has been a bust. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it was Elijah Moore elevating, skying up, and snatching the ball out of the air that not everyone can do.
Yeah.
The Browns have questions at their left tackle spot, offensive line all over. They have questions with their defense. It's just a dysfunctional group that was so talented for so long. Mm-hmm. But eventually, like, how long can you keep showing up? It's like the Jets case last year. Mm-hmm. And I've said it, where they've been through the Zach Wilson seasons. They get Aaron Rodgers, he goes down. They get through the Zach Wilson season again with a talented defense. But it was too much. It becomes too much when one side of the ball has to do that much.
Sure.
That's what concerns me is the performance they're coming off against the Saints. While the Steelers, on a short week, yes, on the road, you know what you get on the defense. Nick Herbig, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward.
Automatic.
Right?
It's automatic.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
Again, the guys that they have on that side of the ball. That's what makes a difference, and it's just the defense is good. Nick Chubb's back. He only played like 22 snaps. Like the Browns don't have the offense, and their defense leaves you with question marks. That's why I just lean Steelers here, man. And this is a big game. You say it.
Yeah.
Like now they have 2 losses. Bills have 2. Chiefs have 1. You know what that means? That's top 2 seed in the AFC.
That's right.
They're in that conversation.
Hell yeah, they're in the conversation. I'd like to have a bigger conversation with the Steelers.
Yeah.
First, let's go predictions here. Because they just had a slugfest. The Steelers just had a rock fight against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Wilson's numbers, by the way, I'm looking at them now, so I'm going to bring them up to you in that game. 23 of 36, 205 yards and a pick.
Yep.
No touchdowns. Didn't run for
Najee
anything.
Harris was kept in check.
Yeah, like that was tough sledding, and they were able to pull it out, and that's against the MVP of the league and Lamar Jackson and someone who's an MVP candidate and Derrick Henry, quite frankly, on the Ravens. The Browns don't have any of that. So I tell you what, I'll still go ugly, knockdown, drag out. What'd you say that total was, by the way? Did you say 37?
37.
Boy, I'm not going to bet it because I'm living on the edge with the score. I like the under, but the score is like right there, George. I ain't got the stones for it. I'm going to go Steelers 23, Browns 13. So I'm right there.
36.
That's why I'm not going to bet it. Where are you at?
In a dome, this Browns team needed a lot of luck to get 2 touchdowns against a very bad Saints defense.
Yeah.
In a dome. Again, elements, run game isn't there. They will be behind. Be behind.
They will.
I do think the smart bet is laying the points with the Steelers. You get a 3.5. I would take it all the way to 5.5. I would stay away from anything around 6, right? With a 2 field goal lead. Just taking the kickers out of the equation, again, because of the elements, the effect it can have. Taking the Browns' strength on offense, quarterback out of it, I lean under 37. So with that, you asked for the final score. Like I joked about it. It's going to be a weird, quirky score, 16-6 Steelers.
Oh, I could so see that.
And that could be like 2-point conversions.
God, what a terrible game.
17-6, but it's like a missed PAT and a 2-point conversion to make up for it. It's going to be odd.
What's the weather? It's supposed to rain and be windy?
Windy, rainy, cold.
God, what a terrible...
Wind gusts could like reach up to almost 40 miles per hour. You ever use AccuWeather? Huge fan of it. Tells you the real feel. Yeah. It's really good.
Bro, that game's going to be terrible to watch. All right, here's a big conversation I want to have macro with the Steelers before we move on. Talk me in or out of this bet. Steelers to win the AFC plus 850.
Plus 850?
Is that not insane? Now, why I'm bringing this up is because you went there and you're right. This team is vying for the number 1 seed in the AFC, for God's sakes. And that's, by the way, there are some teams. I hate to take shots at our producer here, who's a diehard Chargers fan, but I've only met one of you, so I'm taking shots. The Chargers don't have a home field advantage. There are certain teams that don't really have home field advantages, okay? The Steelers are not one of them. They have a real home field advantage. Arrowhead, obviously, Buffalo, things like this. If the road to the Super Bowl goes through Pittsburgh, good luck. I'm not saying Mahomes can't go there and win. I'm not saying Josh Allen can't go there, but good luck. Steelers to win the AFC at plus 850 feels like something maybe I should do.
So that's yes, because that's a better bet than if it's an AFC Championship game.
Yes.
And the Steelers say they're home. If they're on the road, though, they're going to be dogs.
They'll be dogs on the road. If they're at home, George.
If they're the AFC Championship game, and what I'm just getting to, simply put, would you rather put your money on them to win the AFC and you get a payout of plus 850?
Sure.
$100 to win $850 back.
Right.
Or would you rather take the points, say it's 2.5, and you have to put down $110 to get $100 back?
Right.
Because on defense, this team dominates. They smother. They took, in back-to-back weeks, the most efficient offense in the NFL and the Commanders and had them out of sinks. The next week, they took the most explosive offense in the NFL in points and yards per game, held them to season lows in both, and held Lamar Jackson once again to one of his worst outings of the season as well. And Derrick Henry in check, and forced him to fumble, which never happens. Hell freezes over. The Night King comes south before Derrick Henry fumbles. To do that... And that translates to doing it on the road. And that's what I'm getting to. Defense travels. The offense does just enough. At plus 850, I do like that number. And it's at that number because that means they're beating the Chiefs and the Bills. Now, do they have the quarterback that I trust in the big moments to go shot for shot? Or if you need them, like a Mahomes or Allen? No. Buddy's been there.
They don't ask him to do that,
Buddy's been there. And if my worry is that, but the defense can get them there, compared to the Texans where the defense has been up and down, the offensive line is bad.
Right.
The Chargers home field.
Right.
But they've been good on both sides.
Yeah.
Ravens, defense is bad.
Yeah.
Broncos, don't trust a quarterback. Like, those are the other teams. You go through the AFC, plus 850. That should be 6-1.
I know.
And so I think you're getting a good number. And again, if you're sitting on your couch on the AFC Championship game, and then you know what you do, you hedge.
Man, listen.
Take that plus 850.
If Tomlin gets his team to a Super Bowl, like it's
greatest coaching job of his
and
career.
Also, I think they deserve a lot of credit for the quarterback position because they took shots. Kenny Pickett, what's a loser in Tennessee? Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields. Like they've tried.
Oh yeah.
None of the combos have worked. Right now, Russell Wilson's working, so we'll see. But I think if they were to win the AFC, boy, you have to give your flowers to Mike Tomlin at that point. He should have them already, but a lot of people are reluctant to do it. He would earn it if they win the AFC, no doubt about it. Want the latest on the Patriots and the NFL? Drake May needs help, and we discuss how he can get it quick on NESN's football podcast, Foxborough Rush. You know who's there? George. You know who else?
Trav.
It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, George, let's get out of here with this. 14 new players have joined the 2025 MLB Hall of Fame ballot. 3 new Red Sox are in. Dustin Pedroia, Ian Kinsler, Hanley Ramirez. Do you think any of these guys will be a first ballot Hall of Famer? By the way, you could see the other candidates there on the screen for our viewing audience.
So I think you go first ballot. To me, it has to be Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah.
I just think, he's a hit king. I know a majority of those hits, or almost a majority, happened when he was overseas.
Yep.
But he's a 10-time Gold Glover. Just sit on that.
He's a rock star.
Over 500 stolen bases, 3,000 career hits in MLB. I think Ichiro, out of all the guys that are first time on the ballot, Ichiro is the first ballot Hall of Famer.
I'm with you. Listen, I think CeCe, I'm going to throw in there too. CeCe Sabathia, to me, I feel like is a guy that proved it at different stops along the way. And I'm always more at if a guy goes, if you spend your whole career with one team, you got to respect that too.
Yeah.
But I always have a little more respect for players who have spent multiple years at different stops and still performed at a high level.
Yeah.
I would go Ichiro and I would go Sabathia, I think. As far as these Red Sox, Pedroia feels like the one who stands out to me the most. Hanley Ramirez, I don't know. I think Pedroia is the only one out of those three that I feel like maybe has a shot. But I don't know about first ballot.
No. Pedroia
getting
he's
in,
really
maybe.
good.
Are his numbers Hall of Fame worthy in your mind?
Just under 1,800 career hits, or just around. I'm sorry, excuse me. 4 Gold Gloves, an MVP, a Rookie of the Year.
I mean, he feels fringe.
World Series.
Not first ballot.
Silver Slugger.
But he feels like he could.
It's a guy like 50 on the ballot.
Yes.
A weak class comes along.
Yes.
And he's like the fourth guy in everyone's ballot.
And you kind of get it.
I think he should be. He's also was like very significant and very important to those championship Red Sox teams.
That's what I mean.
And that's where baseball gets weird because, which I agree, it's not a ring sport.
No.
But
it
players
matters.
that step up in the postseason and players that matter to playoff runs.
It doesn't hurt you.
That should boost them on their Hall of Fame resume.
I agree.
You shouldn't need a ring to get into the Hall of Fame, but that doesn't mean you just take away what they do in the postseason, especially on the World Series level.
What do you think about CeCe?
He could be. He's 18th all-time in strikeouts. I mean, in the 2009 run for the Yankees World Series, he was nails. ALCS MVP, sub-2 ERA.
That's when he was husky.
Yeah, that was Captain Crunch, CeCe. There are two CeCes very important to the Yankees' success. Captain Crunch and CeCe Sabathia. 251 career wins. Won a Cy Young. He was top 5 in the Cy Young a bunch of other times as well.
Dominant.
First ballot is tough, but he is a Hall of Famer.
Look. Let's put it this way. You know, out of all these players, the pool, if you told me Ichiro and CeCe got in first ballot, I would have no problem with it. I think some of the other players I would push back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think CeCe, if you told me he doesn't get in first ballot, I wouldn't have a problem with it either. But I would understand if he gets in. But Ichiro, I think we both agree it's a grand slam here and the best player out of this entire pool.
Also, Ichiro, like, I'm not not going to act like the Mariners have the richest history in the world, but you ask a lot of Seattle fans.
He's a guy.
He's like your favorite player.
Yeah.
It's Ichiro.
Yeah, I understand.
Again, everyone here knows, man. You guys have joined the chat. If you want to leave a voicemail, email, tweet at us, and give me crap. Growing up a Yankees fan, there has to be who's your non-Derek Jeter.
Sure.
That's a Hideki Matsui.
Yeah.
That's a Jorge Posada.
I respect
right?
it.
Guys like that. That is a CeCe Sabathia.
Yeah.
Ichiro is just like your favorite ever. That's a guy there.
I always took you for a Mariano guy because you're such a great closer.
Yeah. So definitely the impact. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Right?
Definitely it is my dumb little brain of Jorge is George in Spanish. So I just grew up leaning towards Jorge Posada.
I get it.
But yeah, you also go Mo, of course. Andy Pettit.
Yeah.
Like those are the guys, you know, like the core four.
Yeah.
You go outside of Jeter, but you'll get a lot of Jorge. You're right. Obviously Mo.
Yeah.
That's the thing of like the Mariano Rivera effect is like, yeah, they're not the best, but in the playoffs, you know what you're going to get in the 8th and 9th inning. You know who's able to shut the door. You can't deny that against Mo. Again, Mo is like the easy answer. And that's where I'm comparing Ichiro, like when you talk with Seattle. You ask Red Sox fans, who's your favorite Red Sox? It's Ortiz.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be said a lot. All right, who's your non-David Ortiz favorite? Who's your non-Ted Williams?
Right,
exactly. And that's a way, even if you have to go non-Pedro. For the teams that are less rich in history, you'll get a lot of Ichiro Suzuki.
Well, you were talking core four, but I got to tell you, we're the dynamic duo.
My
man. So nice, we did it twice. That's it for us here on Boston has entered the chat from the PNC Bank studio. George Malecki, Travis Thomas, thank you for rolling with us. Hey, we'll do it again next time. Peace.
Later.